everyone's like, oh, who do you ever want to invite to your dinner party? Fucking Christopher Walken, just so I can discuss this shit with him.
There's actually, I think it was...
Was this a Michael Caine Jaws 4 type situation? Where he did it purely for the money?
No, it wasn't actually that. Essentially, well, he was obviously between like movies at this time, because I think he would have done Deer Hunter well before this, I think, or well after this rather. And like I said, there's another gig coming up, but he needed to do something in the meantime for a couple of months, and they just did all the acting parts like in a big block, essentially. I think it was Vice or another one of those websites did a great article about this, where the guy writing it worked on this game. He was like a runner for the production, and he said like his prevailing memory of it was like waiting for a cab with Christopher Walken for 3 hours to bring them to the industrial estate they were doing all the filming at. And he was saying that the studio was this horrible, muggy, like 40 degrees. He did it all during the summer, so there's no air conditioning, and they're all have to wear these fucking suits and overcoats and everything, and everyone's just sweating on top of each other. They just said for the 2 or 3 months they were doing this, they hated it. And it was like the script was like fucking 300 pages as well. So they had to do all the different tangents. You know, like the game's like typically that heavy scripted anyway.
Kind of way it goes, like.
Yeah. So I think halfway through then like the 3D artist like resigned and someone had to take over and all this shit like it's actually if I find the article I'll link it in the description because it's a very good read considering that like they actually did put like Burgess Meredith like a couple of months before he died and Christopher Walken in the same room. Now obviously they're not in a scene together, but like they're all in the same vicinity and they're all talking to this main character, and in a way like there's movies that would be desperate for this type of cast, but like Take-Two had like so much money going in. Again, the story is that Take-Two was founded by this like basically this like 28-year-old who had the idea of making these like cinematic games. Like his father is like a massive like business tycoon, so basically used him as like their tax sink essentially, and spent the money on games like this. Eventually, like they got their act together, and like people got sacked, and people took over Take-Two and made a more serious operation. But at the time it was still owned by this very like dopey 29-year-old who like drove Porsches and like had a Kessling couch and all this shit, and basically like lounged around while this fucking game was made. So the story on it, the story behind the game is just as fascinating sometimes.
That's the actual thing, yeah.
You know, but like at least from the actors concerned, like the actors were given very brief direction notes and were just expected to act out the scene themselves. You know. Which it kind of shows with Walken because he's clearly taking the piss throughout the whole thing. Yeah,
Walken has already run out of fucks to give.
Yeah, and the rest of them are actually generally like too professional to rip the piss that way. Like especially when Burgess like comes on, like he plays 2 characters in this, and one character he's a very skittish, nervous guy, and the other one is like the opposite. He's confident and cool, and like he plays them dead on, like you know. But as I said, like that's because he got in like genuinely professional actors, not like complete jokers, you know. But yeah, like this is a hospital, by the way, that we're in now.
What?
Yeah, this is a Tribeca Center. So this is basically.
Oh, this is where the girlfriend is.
Yes,
okay.
We're visiting her in the wards.
Right, so she's in her deeper than they thought coma.
Yes.
Right.
So basically, this is a hospital that's designed just to treat comas. Basically.
A whole hospital.
Yes.
Just to treat comas.
It's called the Metacog, which is Metacognitive Center, whatever it is.
Right.
It's actually behind the receptionist that had the whole text there in fucking word art.
This would be rampant for allegations, this place.
Oh yeah, this is practically a homeopathy building. Like wait until fucking Karen Allen comes on and she tells you all the bullshit science she's doing.
Yeah.
Because she's talking about like psychic damage and like personality building blocks and all this nonsense.
That guy over there, yeah, he died in his sleep. Freddy Krueger. And that guy, well, we don't even know that guy. We just found him. You know, he's probably dead too.
He's probably dead too, you know.
Let's put him in the
We
woods.
assume he is anyway. But yeah, this is meant to be a fucking medical facility. The filth, like. Granted, they've done one good thing and that's UV lights, so it's sterile at least. That's a start. But still, a cleaner anywhere?
Well, they have like the...
It's borderline horror game.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're kind of going for with the whole design, was that it's supposed to look like dingy and Victorian, but also in the future. So it's like the future would not look like this. Everything would be like horrendously like white.
Sterile.
Sterile, yeah.
Think Resident Evil.
Mm.
What the fuck is that meant to be? Was that meant to be a bed?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, no, yeah. Don't ask me what that is. That's just a
coffee table.
Table and bench around.
yeah.
That's a smoking area.
Like, yeah, well, if McDonald's around, yeah, definitely.
Oh, this is Carnell.
Yeah, there she is.
There's Indy's missus.
Yeah. You'll see her now once you get a close up. You'll recognise her then.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
My name's Jake Quinlan. I'm a friend of Catherine's.
Quinlan.
Oh yeah, perspective can be very funny sometimes.
Yeah.
Is she gonna be all right?
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, you recognise her.
Her consciousness is deeply withdrawn.
Withdrawn. What's that mean?
It means her mental processes, her memory, the basic building blocks of her personality are inaccessible.
You mean she's in there, but you can't reach her?
That's a best case scenario. We haven't yet diagnosed her psychic damage.
Oh, for fuck's
I hope you write all this down. This is very important.
Yes. Right off. Like.
What are you doing?
So in this,
I'm not doing anything for her. It's all about
did that annoy you so much that you pulled your groin again?
Get back to work.
Well, is she gonna be all right?
Because if so, that's funny.
She's still
That is objectively funny.
We're going to just have to wait and see.
Do you know when, like,
I'll get hit.
yeah, no, do you know when you get like the strain in the muscle, or like you get the kind of cramp?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Nothing fatal, but you never know what it is.
Uh,
I don't know anything until
Oh,
we
you
can
dropped
do
a big
data
chunk.
I did. I'm embarrassed.
it's on the other side of the
Yes, it's
Oh,
good.
just someone.
I'm sure it's a lot of
I'm not
dog.
sending
Got that
you
chip off your shoulder?
Man, you're good.
Now,
So essentially, like, she invented this field of metacog, essentially. So her, like,
She fucking smoked a joint and got a fucking grand for it.
She's a genius.
yeah, exactly. She's playing the game, man.
More likely, someone or something interrupted the ripper before he could finish.
Yeah, this is a weird one because Catherine somehow didn't get blown to shreds like the rest of them did. And they can't really explain why.
Well, clearly he's planting bombs in them.
Well, actually, we talked to the pathologist later on and he'll explain how it was done. And,
Oh my god!
Yeah. She looks pretty bad.
Yeah, he's definitely a baby there.
Oh
this
my
is
god!
this is Dr. Buddy Cable, played by Paul Giamatti, before Saturday Night
What are
Live.
Dr. Burton's plans for treating her?
Look
If she has something in mind she hasn't told me about.
at the hair.
I know.
Everything except the most conservative treatments. We've started to assemble data on the patient's past. We're maintaining.
He still had hair.
Yeah, exactly.
So fucking
Like,
what?
no
Facial
ball touch.
expression
Do it,
has
but
not
she's the best in her
changed.
field.
No.
Or his like face, like itself, like he's aged
Something
quite
here
well.
she's not
Mm.
Yeah, he just shaved his head. And then
That's it.
That's it.
And a beard.
Why is the only movie that I can think
Was there
of
any
him in
hope for
coming to
Catherine?
mind? That's fucking Big Mama's House.
They haven't even.
That is more about your taste in movies, to be honest.
We've
It's literally the
downloaded
only one I
megabytes
can
of
think of that
images,
he's in off the top of my
sensations,
head. Like, to be
memory,
fair, so far all I've had is
Anything that might help
Dr.
ID
Doolittle.
Dr. Cramp.
Dr. Doolittle and Big Mama's House.
Question mark?
She saw the person who attacked her. In this condition.
Oh, dear.
And the Gilmore Girls.
He's in
But can we make it
love.
clear?
Yeah, in fairness, like, he gets around.
Isn't he into the park?
Catherine's grand will have to produce the image.
Isn't he? No, I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry.
I can name the cast of the
Personality
part.
forever destroyed.
I can name the main cast of the part.
I don't understand this. How can you rebuild Catherine's memory?
Well, the way we always do in a case like this. We
Drugs.
assemble all the data we can about the patient's past.
This is apparently their way of curing comas. Is to basically rebuild the characteristics of the patient.
That's not what a coma is.
No.
Did I not know what a coma is?
No,
It's
they
not
don't.
shit.
Apparently not.
But it's part of the game. The whole idea is that as you investigate the case, you're going to basically tell all this to your girlfriend, and then you're trying to get her out of this coma.
Oh my god, I'm just gonna cut my losses here. Do you know what? It's not working out anymore.
It's not you, it's me. Actually, no, it is you, actually.
But
You're not the same person I met like 5 years ago, so
That's a good point, though, because, like, if you didn't like her at
to
any
be fair,
point,
like
could
I mean,
change that.
she's not gonna remember.
yeah. So you could treat her, you can make her be with anything you want, which is so fucking creepy, actually, now that I think of it.
I was about to say, like, you can borderline, like, just like, okay, this isn't working out, you're in this situation.
That's an understatement.
For a few quid,
Can we get her to be more slutty? Yeah, okay, with $50,
Okay, your way of looking at this is very different to my way. My way is very much like, I'm just gonna cut my losses here
Mm.
and walk away. Maybe ring her mom and dad. Look, she doesn't need to know about me. We weren't working out. Oh, the kid's not mine. Like, that's end of, like, story.
Yeah.
Looks like a
And just
hard
walk
road.
away.
No.
Starting new.
Could be worth looking
You
at.
two? No.
It's the way the male brain works.
You
Unfortunately, the male
Yeah.
brain
two
is.
went the fucking Kill Bill way.
Men default to sex. That's
Yes,
how it works.
unfortunately.
Oh my god,
It's
like.
too risky.
This-
We could lose her then.
This is a meeting
Why
that
would
was
you try
recorded
inserting data angels for diagnostics?
between the three doctors here.
I disagree.
Right, I've got questions
We've no
about this
idea what's left
facility
of the
and its
natural
use of
defenses. The
security
trauma could
cameras.
have made
Mm.
it even harder to penetrate.
All right, look, then let's run.
Really? Really? That's what you're gonna laugh at?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Then we know what we're dealing with.
Wow.
Very out of context.
Because
Wow.
I said so. I want her to stabilize before we introduce any kind of foreign code. Thanks for the consultation, but that's my decision.
Right.
Right.
So for some reason, Dr. Burton is refusing to treat the patient. And is claiming to be just being conservative about it.
It's her
Even though these two have seen her go to the jugular for every other patient. But for this one, she's not doing it.
She's not
There's not
doing
much we can do.
So again,
They're
she's-
related.
she's also a suspect now.
Why? Because she doesn't want to
Treat the
turn
patient.
this woman into a victim.
Right? Well, not in a sense. That's
Well-
not the problem. The problem is that she's not doing anything about her. She's waiting for her to stabilise, even though according to Paul Giamatti, she is stable.
That child doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm.
We will have our killer.
That's actually an image of the Ripper coming from Catherine's brain. And again, as we give her more information about the case, you'll see the face of the Ripper.
Okay.
Whoever he or she it may be.
Yeah, it's still gonna be Christopher Walken.
It should be Christopher Walken. If there's any justice in the world, it would be him.
It will be him.
Mm. No, like I said, Christopher Walken is one of the potential candidates. The Dr. Burton is another one. We'll meet the other two. Actually, we met the other one, another one. But
Is he not a suspect?
who?
The main character.
No,
Bullshit.
no, he's not. He's not one of the four. It can only be one of four people, according to the game. And that's all I'll say on the matter.
This is gonna annoy the fuck out of me.
I know. On our original playthrough,
It's not like I can just fucking Wikipedia or something.
No,
read
this is
the
it.
back of the last page of a book. Like,
no. You see, in our original playthrough, Bertha was convinced it was a receptionist, and her logic was actually quite sound because, like, she was always in the hospital. She always knew what was happening. She always knew when you were there and when you weren't there, and you know she could control everything from
Oh,
her
I'm
desk.
sorry. Hold on a fucking second. Ward, lobby, morgue.
Yeah.
There's only 3 floors on this fucking.
Don't you-
Gigantic tower and building.
Yeah.
Holy shit souls.
Mm-hmm.
Shit souls.
You spent all the money for aesthetic.
Yeah, architecture was a big deal for the
Yeah.
Metacog. They had to get that gothic vibe, you
We
know.
want that big, tall building.
Mm-hmm.
Although, to be fair, like, if I was going to be treated anywhere, I do want to be treated in the place that looks like a dilapidated same as
And a plague doctor walks in with his big fucking bird nose.
I'd
Good
be into
evening.
that. I'm not going to lie, I'd actually be very into that.
Do you,
Uh,
thi-
it's
do you
a
think
phone
they'll
about
like
you.
Lord Farquaad and compensate for something?
Yeah, all the murders.
So here's our pathologist.
Okay.
Hey, Vic. What's for lunch?
Hey, Gwendolyn.
They working you hard?
Working me like crazy.
What?
these days.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
fuck?
this one is Stein?
Yeah.
You kidding
You
me?
can tell hygiene was a big thing there.
Mm.
Saw her inside splattered everywhere.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah, this woman was married.
The receptionist did warn us that he's incredibly scruffy.
Wait a second.
As a businessman away on a trip for 3 weeks, he gets paranoid with his partner putting it
I don't think this guy is that famous.
So he flies home early,
As far as I know.
gets to the-
I thought he was Max from Armageddon, but he's too
I
old.
never got
Mm.
married, you know?
Oh my god!
Just
It's not
pulling
even wearing
guts out.
gloves.
Just like
Yeah.
yeah.
Wash your hands, lads. Wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, don't be a
Yeah.
fucking scruffy bastard.
Yeah, hopefully we don't regress in 20
Any
years.
must be here.
Just everyone's going like just sneezing on each other.
Yeah.
We spend so long being sterile.
Sure, none of us can have kids anymore nowadays, eh? Who
Yeah,
cares?
fuck it, we're done.
We're the last
You're
generation.
so special to me. I feel like I could just sneeze on you.
Oh.
If that's romance in
Thing
2040,
that's
I'm
the
fucking
sweetest
pulling
thing
out. I'm
anyone's ever
done.
said to me.
I am fucking done.
Oh, hold on a second.
You hear about my partner? Who's that?
I'm after missing.
Powell.
What?
Wait, has he already explained why?
About the...
The explosions?
Dr. Burton Street.
No, the other 3 victims of the Ripper is actually on the back wall, and he'll tell us details.
Ah, okay.
During the course of it.
Yes.
What's
Okay.
that?
Faraday is actually quite helpful. He
I'm
quite
actually
likes us.
disgusted how I'm actually interested now.
Let's say it doesn't match up. That's the beautiful part of it. Like we figure out then in Act 2 like some of the reasons how this happens. But in this act we realise like this shit should be impossible.
Also, why is his light red?
I don't know.
Why is the torch red?
I have a theory that like it was meant to be like something like blue because they're doing like screening. They had to have red for contrast, and green would be too close to the mark as well. So
Otherwise, it'll probably turn up like the background.
exactly, yeah.
So.
Difficult guy to find. Burton usually goes to a guy named Gamut Nelson. He passes the time at the Cafe du Champ.
So Faraday's talking about a guy called Joey Falconetti, who's a hacker.
Find him there.
Or Decker, as they call this in this game. And this Falconetti is someone.
I got a serious craving for a Capricorn.
He has a liver in his hand.
That out. Now, if you're in the neighborhood, could you get me one? Now, hold it on the hot carpet. My ulcer is killing. Yeah.
I'm shocked to hear that that guy has an ulcer. Anyway, so
Do what I do, dude. Just pop the Bismol, that shit.
yeah, absolutely.
Probably doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's all been drank.
Oh my god, if Pepto-Bismol doesn't exist in fucking 24,
You're fucked, man, yeah.
Screwed.
So here's the first victim.
Indicate the many cuts made. The sheer number of cuts isn't the only amazing thing. Watch this.
So the heart is the target.
All of those cuts happen simultaneously. Human hand can't move that fast. And it was like this for every organ in the body.
Right, so we're looking for Wolverine.
But like I said, all the cuts were happening at the same time, to every organ in the body.
So that I could reenact the attack.
Like me, so.
$1 million piece of hardware. And look what it gives me.
Jesus. Looks like she swallowed a fucking grenade.
Could have.
Notice the path of the cut. Not 1 centimeter offline. Like a seam was undone. Now, no human could have done it.
Because humans aren't strong enough?
It's not just strength, it's precision. He's
Android.
cutting through skin, muscle,
Oh my god, it is Christopher Walken.
Wow.
No,
So you think it's a replicant doing this shit? Like,
Yeah, we're going fucking Blade Runner.
to be fair, Blade Runner was probably one of the inspirations, like tech wise, I guess.
I mean, like, alright, if he's saying like, oh, the precision and like human strength and stuff like that, then I am looking for a fucking android a la Aliens.
Or you could have a human that knows how to work a machine that could do it.
How the fuck
Like
did you? How the
a
fuck did you-
compact machine.
Oh yeah, okay, you said compact, so you.
Because they'd have to be able to like do this really fast.
Yes.
And then get out.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Move
Good
in,
point.
move out, hands up, hands down, back up, back up.
Yes, Fred Durst. That's who we do to suspect. What's he doing? Like, where's Fred Durst in all
Fred
this?
Durst is-
No one's asking about Fred Durst.
Fred Durst is the killer.
Yeah, nailed on, lads. Nailed on. But yeah, what came up in conversation with the pathologist was Joey Falconetti, a Decker, that Claire Burton sometimes uses if she needs him for any of her cases. So again, Faraday's question, well, why haven't you
So
called
she
in?
needs him to slip in the back door?
A little bit, yeah, in a matter of speaking. And that's very appropriate considering that they used to be married. We'll get onto that in Act 2 though. But yeah, the whole odd thing about this is that she's not using him either. And because Falconetti is very elusive, so we've just been told to meet a guy in a cafe who'll tell us where he is.
That's why we went to her apartment.
Well, the reason I went to this apartment because this is the only other location on the CD, and I was having some terrible trouble loading the other CDs. Yeah, that's a computer.
No, what?
The 2 handprints.
Yeah.
That's a keyboard.
What?
Yeah, the way it works is these are all virtual reality computers.
Oh, piss right off.
Oh, don't worry, we'll go into cyberspace in about 15 minutes. So
Oh my god, I hate how into this I am.
you want to see what cyberspace is like, there, don't you?
Oh, give me strength.
So yeah, I think that's supposed to be an Olympics poster.
it looks like it.
I mean, not well explained, to be fairness.
Laser game. Wonder what this inscription means.
It looks like,
It's a name.
Dorset.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
initials in the name.
Jay Dorset.
Oh my god, you're a fucking investigative reporter, you absolute cunt. Yeah, I'm not gonna drop
Jesus,
the
man,
real
tell
words.
us how you really
No,
feel.
I'm
like.
not gonna drop the real one.
Well, cunt.
Cunt.
You real fucking cunt you are, man, honestly.
Such a cunt.
I could hold you to my ear and hear the fucking sea. That's how shit you are.
Conch, yes, that's what it is, it's a conch.
Yeah.
The almighty conch. That's from Beetlejuice.
What, conches?
No.
I think they come from the sea.
A picture.
The
Oh,
picture that
Yeah, yeah. It's a reference. This is also
I'm
a clue.
glad I found you.
This is our second puzzle of the game, by the way.
With Jake?
Yeah.
Jake.
There's a birthday card we gave her.
Oh,
She was born in 1990.
Oh, I'm the same age as her!
Yeah, her birthday is the 25th of February.
Okay,
And
no,
and look, she's into astrology.
it's not the same as me. Is it? Well...
The pattern of the constellations.
Yes. So the puzzle is, right, we're going to see it when we turn around, but in the prologue she said, if you get bored you can play with my crystals. And she has a crystal
that wasn't
board.
a euphemism.
No, it wasn't
Okay.
actually, no.
What?
Shock. I know, it should have been a euphemism, but it's actually a puzzle we can do.
Come on.
It would have been great if it was a euphemism, but actually foreshadowing what you
Yeah.
have to do.
Exactly. She meant to be sexy times, but it was actually a puzzle. And this is it. These are the crystals.
If you can figure out the puzzle, I'll let you touch my boobs.
Thank you, Lara Croft, apparently. So, the way this works is, we're going to have to recreate the Pisces star pattern on this crystal board.
Alright, I probably should have looked at that.
Yeah. That one's particularly annoying because you have to be trying to be accurate with it as well. In terms of where you think it is.
Right?
Yes. Now granted it's probably not
So
the
it's
Pisces. Yeah, it's that kind of weird pattern.
It's a wavy thing with the 4 dots on it. Then.
Yeah. But
Boom!
the thing is,
I know my fucking star signs.
it says more about you, to be honest. But in fairness though, it's the case is here that it's to recreate what's on the actual poster.
Yeah,
as
you'd
opposed
have
to
to be precise with where they are.
and that's what that's the kind of trouble with these puzzles overall, is that they're very, very precise.
I'm having a murder trivia.
Mm-hmm. Flashback.
Yeah.
Alright.
Horror movie trivia. Is that
Oh,
what
horror
it's
movie,
called?
right. I was actually referring to our Jackbox games that
Yeah,
would never
that
see
is-
the light of day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to remember the blood pattern on it, and I'm having a flashback.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember it.
But this is it, so you have to
But I do remember blue, orange, green.
Yeah, true. So the school shot a laser into her book called Horoscope. Right? Now, that might not seem relevant to you right now, but it will be when we go into cyberspace. Right? Actually, you can look at the books there. So you'll notice also the book beside it is about Jack the Ripper and the women of Whitechapel. It's
What
quite
are the
interesting.
freaking chances?
Actually, it's odd. Everyone in this universe has this odd fascination with Jack the Ripper. And then suddenly a Ripper appears in
No
New
one
York.
questions it.
Yeah. And we will get back to that book in Act 2, I believe.
I will admit, I think when I first figured out what Jack the Ripper was, I think I went down a really weird mad of trying
You went
to
down
find
the
out.
rabbit hole, basically.
Oh Jesus! I've gone down that rabbit hole a few times.
I got to hear a thing. It's one of those things that it's a very good rabbit hole as well.
Interesting. It's very fucking interesting.
It's gas as well.
I like the theories to it as well.
Yeah, because they still don't know for 100% sure who the Ripper actually was.
It was. Here, if anything's to go by the most recent scandals in the royal family, it was fucking one of them.
Could have been. Could have been. Welcome to the Café de Champs, by the way.
Let me see. I've been gripping for one of these for months. These are tough to find if you're not in the professions. What are you, lawyer?
Reporter for the Herald.
Low end of the pay scale, eh?
Tell me about it.
You
Burn.
work for yourself. There are thousands of ways to make money in the net. Believe me, I know.
He has no OnlyFans.
Actually, no, this is the guy that's going to talk about Falconetti. This is
Okay.
Gambit
You know
Nelson,
Joey Falconetti?
an old school hacker.
Joey Falconetti. I haven't done business with that scoundrel in years. Talk about profiteering at the net.
But do you know him?
Eddie and I owned part of an emoticon franchise. You know, one of those
Yep,
C-Space...
Emoticon franchise.
This was years ago. Legitimate business, you see. But Eddie's a thief by nature. Robbed it blind. We had to sell out to some Palestinians in New Dallas.
As you do.
I worked
As you
with
do,
Eddie
Palestinians
since,
get big in
but
the future.
I keep an eye on them.
Free pass.
Free Palestine.
I'm fully behind that.
Mr.
by the way.
Nelson, what's your background? Son?
Just be fair.
Yeah, I'm not making jokes about that. I'm fully behind Free Palestine.
I've been checking with the global net since it went online. Present at the creation.
Also,
That's why thugs
that
like
fucking
Falcon
clock on top of the TV is very fucking wrong, yeah? Okay, grand.
Oh, I haven't changed that in like years.
I nearly had a fucking mini art. Like, I glanced
Do
up
you
and I
know where I
went,
can
10 phones of
find
5 to 10
Falcon?
already.
And it's still bright.
Falcon
The sun never sets in Tala. It's like Alaska.
What the fuck did you mean on bro?
3 days a
Grave
night.
digger named
Oh, I
Farley
love that movie.
Credit Card told me that you might be
Oh, that had Josh Hartnett.
What's your interest? You have to kill him?
The eyes just like
Just blast over. Like.
swoon.
His consciousness is inside a few hundred terabytes of well space with his
Back
body
in there.
safe to him. I set Minotaur up with a guy named Quick. Lives out
She's
west.
blushing now.
He seems to always
Jesus,
know
she
it.
is too.
Oh,
And he
weird.
usually presents himself with video.
Same colour as her fucking gin she's drinking.
hobo.
Oh, pink.
You really had to think of that one. Fantastic.
I mean, where's I looked at my shirt.
What? Like, that was just the thought process. I'm not wearing gin. Oh.
I do have pink on my shirt though.
Close enough. This is great crack.
You're reading your copy, Quinlan. You might nail this freak before the police do.
Why is he so
Just
short?
asking
He
questions,
isn't.
seeing
They
what
fucked
the
up
answer's
perspective on this
Oh,
shot.
okay. It's like,
Yeah, the Ripper's really
There,
big
now it's
on
fixed.
anonymous sex these days.
wait,
You coming on to me?
wait.
What do you know about Gambit Nelson? Yeah,
He's no mutant anyway.
he's been coming in here for years.
Cigarette just appearing out of nowhere.
I've seen it all. You can remember when the net went online. Nothing went any well. Cyberspace was nothing but a bunch of isolated BBSs. Must be a first-generation
I
decade.
think we're all there, really, weren't we? Weren't we? One time.
What, if a cigarette just magically appears in your fingers?
Yeah.
What, and why was it always a John Player Blue? Why the fuck was every single person I know, we all started, myself included, started smoking John Player Blues? Like, Jesus, go big or fucking go home, or what?
If you're trying to recognise this guy in particular, he was the army captain in American Gangster.
Try this one. Oh, Viper pills.
I thought he was somebody
Goes
else.
down
Yeah.
real smooth. It's got some bite.
Oh my god.
On the house. Just nail the
On the
Ripper so
fucking
my
counter?
customers can get drunk in public again, huh?
Okay.
That's all head.
Sure.
Yeah. Basically, the barkeep is annoyed at Quinlan because the Ripper is on the loose and it's killing his business because there's like sexy times happening in the back room.
Or the
Essentially.
fact that there's no more sexy times happening.
Yeah, like typically there should be sexy times, but now there's no
Oh my
longer.
god, right, so in 2040 we have bars that are brothels.
Yep.
We have the crookedest of crooked cops.
Yep.
We have asylums that are actually medical facilities.
Mm-hmm.
And our prisms are a gateway to fucking the Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm totally in with this.
Yeah. Welcome to the future, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah.